Cool, so let's jump right into this one here. Can you beat Fallout 4's Mad Max? I'm starting off with a switchblade, because in the Mad Max game, one of the things that you can carry around is just a bunch of sharpened pieces of metal. They call them shivs in that game. They're like one-time use. Instant finishers, stuff like that. So we'll be using the switchblade for a little bit until we can get our hands on a nicer gun, which comes right here in this little cellar under this car. Spend a little time blowing the car up because, well, one, I find it funny when these cars blow up. Imagine, you know, going down the road 60 miles an hour, a dude steps out in front of you, well, drives out in front of you there. You clip him, you spin out, your car hits a guardrail, and it fucking explodes in a little nuclear explosion. You know, kind of a bad idea, right? Cars nowadays aren't all that good, but, you know, they don't instantly explode in a fucking nuke. Yeah? Come down into a cellar. This is from a mod. The Widow's Shotgun, as it's called. I'll put the terminal up on screen here and leave it up on screen so you can read through it if you want. You can just pause and read it. It's not all that long. It explains how the shotgun got down here. And, you know, why it's engraved and all that. And I figured, you know, if I'm going to play Mad Max, well, Max Rocketinsky, he needs a good, somber shotgun as his weapon, right? I feel like that would match his character. Someone else that's pre-war that made something like that would fit for him. And I gotta say, Max does fit in the Fallout 4 idea that he's, you know, a man at a time. And like I said, beautiful, beautiful shotgun. You got the woman next to the dead guy, the skeleton there, and a mushroom cloud that's a skull. Beautiful. Have one of these in real life if I could. Mind you, you can put a bigger stock on it and a longer barrel and whatnot. We're not going to, but you can. Head over to the Museum of Freedom to deal with the raiders here. The way I like to do this is I'll kill all the raiders inside and then just leave. I won't start the Minuteman questline or anything until later on, unless I need to, yeah. That way I could just go in, talk to them, kill the shit outside, and then go from there. Head back to Red Rocket, gear up here. Some brass knuckles, our shotgun, our knife. The brass knuckles are, well, to harken back to the Mad Max game, which I'm pretty sure is canon. It was a toss-up between that and Fury Road for the idea of what they wanted to make the movie for, so they're both equally valid in my mind. In the game, when you upgrade his melee damage, he starts putting like scrap metal and shit on his wrists and on his knuckles. Eventually it ends with him just having the heads of wrenches, sharpened wrenches just sticking off of his knuckles. That's some hardcore shit. Yeah, I piss off some feral ghouls here. I think I could take them out until, you know, I realize the one's like a super glowing one here. And you'll also notice that I have crippled limbs, and I'm just going to speed this up. And that my crippled limbs aren't healing as I heal. That's because I'm only healing with purified water. Again, in the Mad Max game, you heal with purified water from your canteen. Mind you, just for posterity's sake and ease of use, I guess, if my health is already maxed out and I have crippled limbs, I am allowed to use stim packs to fix those crippled limbs. As I travel to the subway station there, I piss off Swan, who pulls a little fucking teleporting act here. Weird AI. And again, it's a Bethesda game. It always has weird AI. So, you know, he's pissed off. I just head on here. And I didn't even know he could come this far away from his little pond. He eventually wedges himself in front of here. And I get the idea, hey, let's waste all the shotgun shells I have to deal with him. Well, the Widow's shotgun hits hard. Its reload is like 3 times the length of a normal double-barrel shotgun, which I did also pick up from one of the raiders. It's a heavy hitter, but it takes a long time to reload. And you can even see here in the sped-up footage how long it takes. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Head down into the metro. Take out the triggermen. I was going to say Minutemen, but yeah, that's not it. Slowly make our way through the subway tunnel here. Fluid and yet vicious in a way. Still getting used to the spread on this shotgun, which does have its own set of upgrades, which we will be dipping into later. Along with the mod I have that allows you to upgrade any weapon to legendary, anyway, if you have the materials. Take shots, and when the shots miss or we're out of ammo, we just bash them in the face with a fucking shotgun. Take out the ones out in front of the vault. Easy enough to deal with. Drawback of a double barrel, you can't shoot more than twice with it, you know. Make our way through. The guys with the fucking melee weapons, I don't get why they charge people with a fucking gun, but I don't know, post-apocalyptia, they do what they want. As we're making our way through the vault here, we'll talk about how most characters that I play through in Fallout 4 aren't terrible pieces of shit, right? So, in my mind, most of them would end up siding with the Institute. Sure, the Institute can kidnap people, and does kidnap people. A lot of the time, though, even then, the Institute does some bad things. The whole wasteland does bad shit, just in general. I feel like characters, especially like Max here, would side with their kid, especially if he's not being overtly fucking evil, right? And to feel like just 90% of good people would also do the same thing. Like, you have no allegiance or binding to any of the other factions that you come across beyond what you as a player want to do. So, I feel like in situations like this, and even with the Blade Runner run I just did, characters like this would side with their child. Yeah, so again, it's one of those weird things about Fallout 4 compared to the other Fallout games to me, and it's just there's not really many options for someone that's, you know, a good person that actually wants to take care of and look after their family. Anyway, that was a little off topic. Get the key to Kellogg's house, break into his house, start sealing all the shit there, go talk to Dogmeat, fast travel over to Fort Hagen, which we've already marked on our map. Words are hard sometimes. Get there. I'm just going to speed up through the entire process of running through it. By this point in time, I have collected the materials necessary and upgraded the Widow shotgun to never-ending. Like I said, drawback of a double barrel is only having 2 shots. Well, if all the shots you need are right there at your fingertips whenever you need them, you might as well use them, you know? Its rate of fire is okay. It doesn't shoot as fast as a normal double barrel, but again, we can go non-stop with this thing, which you'll hear here in a second. Well, see here in a second. Right now. This isn't sped up or anything. I do believe I also put a flechette mod on it, a damage mod. It pulls in a tighter grouping. Goddamn, words are just hard today. It throws out a tighter grouping. We picked up Kellogg's pistol there. We'll actually put that to use this run. Mad Max in the first, I want to say 3 out of the 4 movies, he has this type of revolver. It's standard issue for when he's a patrolman, and in the second movie he has one just kind of hanging around. In the third one, I think, I don't know, man. He has the gun quite a bit. He actually had to go out of his way to collect it again after he lost it the first time. It's a whole thing. Anyway, we see how they get into and out of the Institute. I go to say hi to Big Green. Decide to put the shotgun to use here. It hits like a fucking tank now, which is amazing. As it should. as it should. Not quite all the way there yet. We got a little more something to add to it. Then I talked to Big Green, tell him we killed Kellogg, so he doesn't need to worry about him. Go to get the Corsair chip. Just skip through this. Easy enough. Shotgun puts in a lot of work. The tighter grouping. Oh, that's just beautiful. I hate when you point the crosshair at something, pull the trigger, and it still doesn't hit right. It gets on my nerves. This way, don't really need to worry about it. Get crippled here again. Like I said, once our health is full from using water, or even the prospect of our health, right? The bar that lights up white, but is still filling up. Even then, can use a stim pack. Just to help with the crippled limb situation. They don't have doctor's bags in this game, otherwise I'd be using doctor's bags. Take out the Corsair before he can pull his disappearing act. Or he was in the process of pulling of his disappearing act there. Go to say hi to the railroad. I just hate the railroad, just in general, right? They're not like the anti-slavers in Fallout 3, where they actually make sense. And yes, I know people say, oh, synths are indistinguishable from people. On the outside, synths are indistinguishable from people, right? If you got something the size of a fist in your skull that's not organic, you're not a person. Just putting that out there. Although, like I said before, it is pretty much the recipe for immortality they're just not using for some reason. Like I said, 6th day that shit. When fucking Sean's getting ready to die, scan his brain every day, so that when he eventually does die, you can just put his mind in a fucking synth clone of him, and then he doesn't die. Win-win, right? I don't know. It's just fucking weird. Decode the Corsair chip. Goddamn words today. Go back and talk to Big Green. He gives us the plans we need. That way we can get started on building the teleporter to go to the Institute. Go back to the Minutemen because they seem like the logical choice here. Help a couple of people around the wasteland, you know. Build up some settlements here and there. Max is known to have done that. Put the revolver to use. It's a good piece. It's a good piece. Like, I get the bull barrel being... Well, in reality, it's supposed to add more weight to the underside of the barrel to keep it flatter shooting. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to actually do in-game here. As I'm backpedaling, taking care of it, the Brotherhood show up and lay into him. Which is kind of funny. Never seen him do that before. Go to help out 10 Pines Bluff. And of course we have to go to the Corvega Assembly, whatever the fuck. And here we get to put on display our fully upgraded shotgun. Explosive shot. We switched out from flechette to explosive. Which can also be used in tandem with the mod that I have that allows for weapons to be upgraded with legendary qualities so that you can have a never-ending explosive Widow shotgun. And it puts in work. It hurts me quite often, too. Like I said, I still have working in my mind there. Seeing if I can beat this game with a bad idea that I have brewing up. Go back and talk to Preston. Because you always got to talk to Preston. We tell him about the relay. Then he tells us to talk to Sturgis. And Sturgis tells us we can build the thing, he can build the thing, whatever the fuck. What I don't get is if Sturgis is a synth, has he been a synth since we first met him? Which would technically be in like the beginning of the game. Or is it only after we go into the Institute? I have no idea. We meet Sean, our son that is also the father of the Institute synths and all that shit. We go and talk to the Corsair outside here. Also, I put on some goggles. Mad Max in the games has goggles and a beard. And you can style him however the fuck you want with his hair and like grease and shit on his face. If you haven't played the Mad Max game, I'd suggest giving it a try. Like, fully upgrade the first camp you come across. You know, build out your car the way you need to. But, after you build up the first, like, settlement there, the settlement building aspect of it gets kind of stale, which isn't surprising. The car combat's fun as fuck. Melee combat is like an Arkham style of combat. It's not bad, especially for what it is and when it came out. The first person driving, especially in the like radiation sandstorms and shit's pretty cool. Like I said, if you've never done it, if you've never played the game, you can usually pick it up for like $20 or something. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. We go and talk to the other Corsair so that we can deal with the Battle of Bunker Hill, which, quite frankly, just equates to running past everything, going into the hatch, running downstairs, getting killed, because I thought using a fucking revolver here would make sense. Then using the shotgun, going down, saying all the recall codes so that they can all just get shipped back and be, you know, free labor.
Come on, please.
I do wonder what the synth component is actually supposed to be in the synths. Like, is it their brainstem? Like, where the brainstem is supposed to meet the organic brain? Or is it just like a different, like, fist-sized component in their skull? I mean, where it, like, attaches, you'd figure it would be, like, where the spinal cord attaches to the fucking brain. And be, like, the lower parts of the brain so they can still form memories and whatnot in the, upper part. Mind you, I have no fucking idea, how the brain works. I just figure that's how it works. Anyway, we, hear that he's dying, again. Could be fixed easily. Why he doesn't do it, I don't know. He literally makes a version of himself as a goddamn child, but doesn't think to do so as an adult. Whatever. Run through the whole... I forget the name of this place to get the beryllium agitator. I decide to use my incendiary flare gun. In the Mad Max video game, he's given a flare gun by Chum Bucket. God damn, words are just hard today, man. Ugh, everyone has days like that, though. Use that for a couple of shots. It sets people on fire. Cool, whatever. Flip the switch, head back down. Now, again, if the switch can be turned back on, then they didn't blow anything up. All they did was forcefully trip a breaker. Couldn't get past these dumbasses standing in the doorway, so I shoot them with my explosive shotgun and walk past them. Had to go get the beryllium agitator. Radiation chems are fair game here. Simply because I don't see that he wouldn't have used them at some point in time. So that makes sense. Really, the only stims we're not using for normal healing are stim packs. We use water for that, and then stim packs to heal crippled limbs and whatnot. Take some Rad-X right away. Apparently Rad-X stacks to a couple of times, which I didn't know. Use that in conjunction with Rad-Away, and you can chase off the radiation fairly easily, for a while anyway. Drink some more water just to get the weight down a little bit more. Take some more Rad-X and Rad-Away. And even while still getting 60-some fucking rads a second, we're able to get the fuck up out of here without too much of a problem. Take out the robots. Boom. Talk to What's-Her-Face. Give her the beryllium agitator, I think, to complete the... Mass Fusion's the name of the building. Anyway, talk to What's-His-Face here. Accidentally shoot him in the chest, which is why I try not to have my weapons out when talking to people, because the skip dialogue button is the fucking shoot button, and it's just bad when you accidentally shoot them in the face. Talk to him, it's all good. Everybody's happy. We do the color matching game here in Diamond City to get that all going. Head back, put the beryllium agitator in, start the reactor for the Institute so they never need to want for power, never need to go up topside, never need to worry about that shit.
No more when we need worry about outpacing our resources.
As you wish.
After that, we head and do our director's meeting. I always tell them to build more guns instead of more synths, right? Well, cool, you could have a bunch of synths running around and shit. If they're just hitting people with sticks, it makes no sense to send them. especially when people are wearing mobile tanks. So, tell them to focus on weapons. That way they can actually shoot people, right? You can have the most well-trained army on the planet, but if you just give them sharp sticks, they're going to lose to a bunch of teenagers with AKs. Yeah. It's just how force multipliers work. After I get completely nuked the first time, I decide to just run past everything and take out the signal jammers. Then I start tossing the old synth relay grenades and then the institute relay grenades and fill this place up with as many synths as I can and as many places as I can. Simply because I can. No other reason at this point. The virus was down, so I had to fucking shoot it to put it out of its misery so a new one could spawn in, which was annoying. Again, the splash damage from the explosive shotgun is interesting, to say the least. Since they're putting in work at that point, we're at 25%. No idea if you guys can hear my cuckoo clock or not. Just gonna deal with it. Cripple both my legs with that one. I gotta say, the normal Widow's shotgun without the explosive ammo crack has a good thump to it, you know? A good bassiness, a good report from it. I also have 2 Acrobat's legs for armor, so I don't take fall damage, which is pretty cool. Again, I can upgrade anything with legendary perks or augmentations, modifications, whatever you want to call it. Which works out well. So yes, you can, in fact, beat Fallout 4 as Max Rocketinsky. I tried something new with the intro. I'll try to make the intros a little longer. You know, it's like 8 seconds now. But, you know, just testing out some different editing shit. Hope you guys liked it. And, thanks for watching.